therefore here in this slide x4 cap of n is, so whatever the complex system result what we obtained in the previous 3 slide, we are going to write that. So those are the complex system of the signal. So minimum and maximum phase signals. So real part of the Fourier transform is discrete time DTFT of the even part of the sequence. So it follows that since log of x of e to the power of j omega is DTFT of the substrum, then the substrum is the even part of the complex substrum. So this is a even part of the complex substrum, that is C of n is x cap of n plus x cap of minus n divided by 2. So whereas x minimum is of n is written as 0 when n is less than 0, C of n when n equal to 0, 2C of n when n greater than 0. So where the subscript notation MNP is for minimum phase signal, XMNP is for minimum phase signal, and XMXP is for maximum phase signal. So thus for minimum phase sequence, the complex substrum can be obtained by computing the substrum using the above expression. Similarly, results can be obtained for minimum phase signals, that is in this case it can be seen from the equations. The maximum phase sequence can be written as x cap of maximum of n, that is equal to 0 reverse for n greater than 0, C of n for n equal to 0, 2C of n if n is less than 0. So again the complex substrum of the maximum phase signal can be computed from log of x of e to the power of j omega. So the next slide is about the homomorphic analysis of the speech model. So general discrete time model of the speech production is shown here. So this is a homomorphic analysis of the speech model. So first we'll take a impulse train generator. So here impulse train generator is having a pitch period np, so which is given as p of n, or its corresponding z transformation is p of z. So normal that is a general complete model what we have discussed in the module 1, the same thing is taken here for homomorphic analysis of the speech production. Everything is same, the representation in z domain is also given here. Then the glottal pulse g of n and z of z, here that is again here voiced signal, gain for unvoiced signal, random noise generator u of z and u of n. So it is a switch between voiced and unvoiced. So error signal e of n. So vocal tract parameters are the input, vocal tract model v of z and v of n. So it is given to the radiation model r of z, r of n. So whose output is the speech signal s of n. Since the excitation and impulse response of a linear time invariant system are combined by convolution, the problem of speech analysis can also be viewed as a problem in separating the components of convolution, and therefore a homomorphic system and the substrum are useful tools for a speech analysis. So in the model of the figure, the pressure at the lips s of n for a voiced section of the speech is represented as convolution s of n can be written as p of n into convolution of hv of n. P of n into convolution of hv of n, where P of n is a quasi-periodic voiced excitation signal. V stands for voiced. hv of n represent the combined effect of vocal tract and impulse response. So this is a combined response of vocal tract and impulse response signal. The glottal pulse g of n, the radiation load response at the lips r of n, and the voice gain AB. The effective impulse response hv of n can be written as is itself a convolution of glottal, that is vocal tract, radiation, everything. So hv of n can be written as the voiced gain AB into glottal pulse g of n, vocal tract parameter V of n, R of n is the radiation pattern. Similarly, for an unvoiced section of the speech, we can represent the pressure signal at the ellipse S of n is equal to U of n convolution with H U of n. So where U of n is the unit variance random unvoiced excitation signal, H U of n is the convolution of Ocultract response V of n with the radiation load response R of n, including scaling by unvoiced section gain control AU, that is HU of n is written as AU into V of n convolution with R of n. Homomorphic analysis for the model of for voiced speech. So as a model for a glottal pulse, we use the model proposed by Rosenberg. So G of n can be written as this term for n between 0 to n minus 1. If n is between n1 to n1 plus n2 minus 2, so then it is cos of 0.5 this expression, or else it is 0. So this is what homomorphic analysis model for voiced speech we are discussing. So this glottal pulse model, so glottal pulse, we are speaking about glottal pulse, right? In this here we are getting G of n. So how we are modeling this in a homomorphic form, G of n? So we will see here in the slide. The glottal pulse model is illustrated in the figure, where G of n in the equation, this one is plotted by n equal to 25, n2 equal to 10. The finite length sequence has a length of 34 samples. So the Z transform G of Z is a polynomial of the form. So this is a polynomial of the form which is given by the expression 8.40 with 33 zeros which are plotted in the figure which we will discuss next. Note that the 33 roots of G of Z, there are 33 roots of G of Z are outside the unit circle. So that is the glottal pulse is a maximum phase sequence. We can say that it is a maximum phase sequence. The Ocultract system is specified in terms of its form and frequencies and bandwidth V of Z, given as a product of second order sections of this form. So V of Z is written as 1 over pi of the expression which is given here. So this is the waveform glottal pulse. So here is the waveform glottal pulse diagram A. So diagram B shows the Ocultract impulse response is like this. This is a glottal pulse. This is what a radiation load is like this. Then the voiced excitation pulse is given like this. So radiation model, as we know, the model of the radiation load is simple. That is a first difference. R of Z is written as 1 minus eta into Z to the power of minus 1. The corresponding impulse response R of n is written as delta of n minus eta into delta of n minus 1, which is shown in the third diagram. So that is in this diagram, that is radiation. The final component of the model is the periodic excitation P of n. To show the simple analysis of the Z transform, we write P of n, the periodic excitation is given by the expression that is 8.43. So this is the periodic excitation whose Z transform is given here in the expression 8.44. So this is the Z transformation of the above expression, that is 1 divided by 1 minus beta Z to the power of minus np. So pulse and zeros for the speech model. So this is a glottal pulse G of Z. So here it is, all the zeros are outside the unit circle. Ocultract system function, so it is inside the unit circle. So for a radiation pattern, it is also inside the unit poles and zeros. So here the Z transform of Z transformation of the periodic excitation is So log magnitude of the DTFT signals are like this. So this is the log magnitude of the DTFT signal of the glottal pulse. It is like this. Log magnitude of the frequency response is like this. Log magnitude of the radiation pattern is like this. Whereas log magnitude of the that is voiced excitation spectrum is like this. So whereas the previous diagrams, originals, glottal, radiation and vocal tract and voiced excitation signals are this. So these are what? The log magnitude functions. So here is an example which shows the synthetic speech waveform. So this is a synthetic speech waveform. So below diagram shows the log spectrum of this synthetic waveform. Synthetic waveform is the waveform which is not natural, which is produced. So this is the log spectrum of the synthetic voiced speech signal which is shown in this diagram. So the next is now consider the complex cepstrum of the output of the model. Since the output is S of n is equal to HV of n convolution with P of n, which is taken as gain into the glottal pulse signal into vocal tract impulse response into radiation pattern into P of n. So is a voice signal that is the input. It follows that so S of n can be given as HV of n plus P of n. So which is equal to, that is log of gain into delta function plus glottal pulse plus V of n, R of n and P of n. So all these are what? So that is taking a log magnitude function. So these are the corresponding complex cepstra of glottal pulse cepstrum signal. This is the cepstrum of vocal tract. This is the cepstrum of complex that is radiation pattern. This is the cepstrum of voiced excitation signal. So complex cepstrum of the synthetic waveform is like this. So whereas the below diagram shows the corresponding cepstrum of synthetic speech. So above diagram shows the log magnitude cepstrum of synthetic voice speech signal. The below figure shows, the middle figure shows the phase of the synthetic voice speech. This is the phase diagram of the synthetic voice speech, whereas the below diagram shows principal value phase of the synthetic voiced speech. Homomorphic analysis of the model for unvoiced speech. So we recall that unvoiced speech, we have no glottal pulse at all. It is just a noise. So glottal pulse excitation is not there. So the model output S of n is given as HU of n convolution with U of n, which is given as V of n convolution with R of n convolution with AU into U of n, where U of n is the unit variance with white noise sequence. The autocorrelation representation of the unvoiced speech is therefore written as phi S of n is written as phi V of n into phi R of n, that is equal to AU square of delta of n, or it is given as this expression, that is AU square of phi of voiced sample of n into random noise, that is phi of R of n. So where phi V of n and phi R of n as a deterministic autocorrelation function of the vocal tract and the radiation system. V stands for the vocal tract and R stands for the radiation system. These are the autocorrelation function. So these are combined by a convolution. The Z transform of phi S of n, phi S of n exists and is given by phi S of Z is written as AU square phi V of Z into phi RR of Z, where phi V of Z is written as V of Z into V of Z inverse, phi R of Z is written as R of Z into R of Z inverse. So these are deterministic Z transforms representing the shaping of power spectrum by the vocal tract and the radiation respectively. The power spectrum of the synthetic unvoiced speech output would be therefore phi S of e to the power of j omega is written as AU square into v of e to the power of j omega whole square into r of e to the power of j omega whole square. This is what homomorphic analysis of the model for unvoiced speech, where the glottal pulse is not there. So thus the real logarithm will take the log of this expression. So square will become 2 log AU. So 2 log multiplication will be that is log of AB is log A plus log B. So that's why it is plus 2 log V to the V of e to the power of j omega plus 2 log r of e to the power of j omega. So the substrum of the autocorrelation function phi s of n is written as, so the expression into delta function. Okay, so it is autocorrelation function result in this expression, which is given as 8.53. Therefore the substrum of autocorrelation function is an even function, as we can see here from this diagram, r of n plus r of minus n divided by 2, v of n plus v of minus n divided by 2. So it means that these terms are a even function of q frequency of n, and because it is based on a power spectrum, it is twice the size of the ceptra of deterministic components due to the vocal tract of the radiation system. So above diagram shows the log power spectrum of the synthetic unvoiced speech sample. This is the log power of synthetic speech sample. The below figure shows the cepstrum of the autocorrelation of synthetic unvoiced speech. So next is about discussion is about computing the short time cepstrum and complex cepstrum of the speech signal. So as we know, so we define an alternative short time Fourier transformation now. So alternative short time Fourier transformation is now given as xn cap of e to the power of j omega. So which is written as summation from n equal to 0 to L minus 1. So x of n plus n into window function into e to the power of minus j omega n. So where n cap denotes that analysis time omega denotes the short time analysis frequency. So that is a short time Fourier transform at analysis time n cap is a discrete time Fourier transform of a finite length sequence. So this is a discrete time Fourier transformation of a finite length sequence, where x of n is given as a window sequence into speech sample. Okay, that is between the length n between 0 to L minus 1, or else it is 0. So where s of n denotes the speech signal, and we assume that w of n is equal to 0 outside the interval 0 to L minus 1. So in this formulation, the time origin of the window segment is reset from n to the origin, that is w of n. So next is we simply note that the input is a finite length window sequence, that is x of n is given by window sequence into speech sample. The short time characteristics system for convolution is therefore defined by, so x of e to the power of j omega is written as n equal to 0 to L minus 1 x of n into twiddle factor, that is e to the power of minus j omega, Fourier transformation signal. So then we will apply log, so we will write x cap of e to the power of j omega, which is log of this expression. So we will apply log to this, that is log of x of e to the power of j omega is written in rectangular form, which is given in this second expression. Then is going to the reverse, that is we are taking inverse transformation, discrete time Fourier transformation, that is x cap of n is written in this form. So which is diagrammatically representation here. First is x of n, we will take discrete Fourier transform in order to obtain x of k. Then we will take complex logarithm in order to get x cap of k. Then we will take inverse discrete time Fourier transformation in order to get x of n. The characteristic system is depicted in the diagram which is above and is defined by these equation. X of k is defined as x of e to the power of j omega. So which is equal to n equal to 0 to L minus 1 x of n into e to the power of minus j 2 pi k by n. So where k range is given from 0 to n minus 1. Then we will take then we'll take logarithm of the above expression, that is log of x of k. So then we'll take inverse discrete time Fourier transformation, which is resulting in the last expression. So then we'll discuss deconvolution. The complex substrum computed by the above expression is related to true complex substrum by Q-Ferenczi aliasing relation. So then this x cap of n is written as r equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n plus rn. N varies from 0 to n minus 1. So this is what that is for inverse transformation. So it is y of n. Here also we will take d of t first. So we'll get y of k. So then we'll take exponential. There we applied logarithm. So now we are applying exponential in order to get y of k. Then we'll take inverse discrete time Fourier transformation, since this is a deconvolution. So then this is a third type of representation of inverse characteristics form for homomorphic deconvolution in Fourier transformation, DTFT, discrete time Fourier transformation. So first we have y of n, then we have in a Fourier transformation form, that is y of e to the power of j omega. So a deconvolution, so we will take exponential. Okay, then we will take inverse Fourier transformation in order to get y of n. So here the computation of the substrum is shown here. So how we are going to compute the substrum of a signal? So C of n is, this is the basic definition, that is 1 over 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi log of x of e to the power of j omega into this expression. So whereas here x of e to the power of j omega is discrete time Fourier transformation of a windowed signal x of n. An approximation to the substrum can be obtained by computing the inverse discrete time Fourier transformation of the logarithm of magnitude of discrete Fourier transformation of finite length input sequence, that is CR of n. So that is given as 1 over n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 log of this function. So as before, the Capstrom computed using discrete time Fourier transformation is related to the two Capstrom computed by the Q-Ferenczi of aliasing formula. This is aliasing formula. C bar of n is given as C of n plus r into n, where n value ranges from 0 to n minus 1. So furthermore, it is a even part. So C bar of n is written as x of n plus x of n minus n divided by 2. So it is diagrammatically shown the entire calculation. First we will take x of n, then we will take discrete Fourier transformation in order to get x of k. Then we will take log magnitude in order to get log of x of k. Then we will take inverse DFT in order to get C bar of n. So aliased complex substrum is shown here in this diagram. So this is the aliased complex substrum for this expression. So this is also the aliased substrum. This is aliased complex substrum. This is aliased complex substrum of the above expression. So then computation based on Z transformation. Now everything is based on Z transformation. As we know, we define a Z transformation x of Z as n is 0 to m x of n into z to the power of minus n. So such mth order polynomial of z to the power of minus n can be represented in terms of its roots as, so mth order polynomial is given by the second expression, where the quantities am are the complex zeros that lie inside the unit circle, those are called as minimum phase part, and the quantities bm inverse, these are the zeros that are outside the unit circle. So these are what? Am are the zeros inside the unit circle, these are the zeros outside the unit circle. That is, if the magnitude of am less than 1 and magnitude of bm less than 1, we assume that no zero lie precisely on the unit circle. If we factor the term minus bm inverse into z inverse out of each factor of the product at the far right, then the equation can be expressed as this expression. So we'll take a z transform, that is x of z is equal to a into z to the power of m naught. So this expression. So computing the complex substance, so which is given by these two expression. So for a z polynomial, if we take, okay, so then the complex substance is calculated like this. X cap of n is given by log of magnitude of a when n is equal to 0 and minus of summation of this expression when n is greater than 1, and the third expression when n is less than 0. It is relatively straightforward to show that complex substance has the form this expression. So computation of the complex substance by polynomial rooting of the z transformation of a finite window speech segment is this. This is a computation of the complex substance by a polynomial rooting on a z transformation of the finite length window sequence x of n. So we'll get here. So we'll employ the equation in order to get x cap of n. So then is homomorphic filtering of the natural speech signal. So now we are in a position to apply the concept of substrum and homomorphic filtering to a natural speech signal. So let us recall the model for speech production as shown in the diagram 8.12. So this diagram 8.12, that is this diagram we are speaking about, the speech production diagram. Consists of slowly time varying linear system excited by either a quasi-periodic impulse train or by a random noise. So it is either excited by a quasi-periodic impulse train or by a random noise signal. Thus it is appropriate to think of a short segment of a voice speech as having been taken from the steady state output of the linear time invariant system excited by a periodic impulse train. Similarly, a short segment of an unvoiced speech can be thought of as resulting from the excitation of a linear time invariant system by random noise. Thus, the purpose of this is to demonstrate that similar behavior results in short time homomorphic analysis method are employed with the natural speech inputs. So next is the discussion of the model for short time Cepstral analysis of the speech. So over a length L of the window, the speech signal S of n satisfy the convolution expression. The speech signal S of n can be written as a convolution of E of n, that is a excitation, into H of n, where H of n is a impulse response of the system from the point of excitation to the radiation at the lips. In this analysis, the impulse response H of n is HU of n. So models the uncombined effects of the excitation gain, and U stands for unvoiced, vocal tract, and the radiation of the sound at the lips for unvoiced speech, where H of n is equal to HV of n is for a voiced section, that is condition of an additional convolution due to glottal pulse. Wherever the voice is there, then the glottal pulse is there. For unvoiced, glottal pulse is not there. Further, we assume that the impulse response H of n is the short compared to the length of the window, so that window segment can be represented as x of n is given as W of n into S of n. So that is window function into excitation E of n into H of n. So which is shown here. So that is n between 0 to L minus 1. So that is any tapering due to the analysis window is incorporated into the excitation as slowly varying as slowly varying amplitude modulation. That is the model for short time substral analysis of the speech. So here we'll take the excitation E of n as P of n, that is equal to, excitation means delta response, impulse response. So now Nw is the number of impulse in the window and Np is the discrete time pitch period. For voiced speech, the window excitation is EW of n is equal to W of n into P of n. So that is k equal to 0 to Nw minus 1. K equal to Nw minus 1. For voiced speech, the windowed excitation is EW of n is W of n into P of n. Okay, this is for the voiced. So whereas NP is the time scaled window sequence, that is defined as W of NP of k is W of k into NP, this that is equal to 0 for otherwise. So from the expression discrete time Fourier transformation, EW of e to the power of j omega is given by this expression. So from the above expression, it follows that EW of e to the power of j omega is a periodic in omega with the period 2 pi by np. So therefore, x of e to the power of j omega is written as log of hv of e to the power of j omega plus log of EW of e to the power of j omega. The complex spectrum of the window speed sample x of n is therefore given by x of n is equal to hv of n into e to the power of that is e of n. For voiced, the cepstral environment due to the excitation is of the form this, that is e of n is equal to window function, that is w and p of n by p for n is equal to periodic, that is 0 np 2 np like that, or else it is 0 otherwise. For unvoiced speech, no periodicity occur in the logarithm of dtft of the windowed unvoiced signal and therefore no cepstral peak occur. Then is voiced speech analysis using discrete time Fourier transformation. So below figure shows the voiced speech analysis using DTFT. So here it is given by this expression y of e to the power of j omega is written as, so 1 over 2 pi minus pi to pi x of e to the power of j omega into L of e to the power of j omega into d theta. So here we have a speed sample s of n, then a window function. So multiplied of s of n into window function will get x of n. So then we'll apply the convolution. So we'll get x cap of n. Then we'll apply L of n which comes to complex cepstrum. So we'll get y of n. To retrieve back, we'll apply deconvolution in order to extract y of n. So this is what the implementation of the system for short time homomorphic filtering of the speech. So unvoiced speech analysis using the discrete time Fourier transformation. To complete the illusion of homomorphic analysis of natural speech, let us consider the example of unvoiced speech shown in the diagram. So that figure shows a waveform segment of a fricative that is voice, that is SH, multiplied by 401 point Hamming window. The rapidly varying curve plotted with thin line in the figure is corresponding log magnitude function of log of magnitude of x of e to the power of j omega shows the corresponding cepstrum c of n. So this is a speech segment with Hamming window. This is a log magnitude. This is a cepstrum. So then is a cepstrum analysis of all pole models. Here the no zero terms. They are all pole model. H of z is written as g divided by a of z. So it is a of z when it is expanded. So it is in this form. Okay, it is when it is written in the phi form. We are getting like this. Okay. So in which if we take a inverse z transformation, then h of n can be written as summation k equal to 1 to p alpha k into h of n minus k plus glottal signal g into delta of n. So complex substrum of the impulse response of minimum phase of all pole model is given as h of n is equal to 0 for n value less than 0, log of g for n equal to z, k equal to 1 to p, z k to the power of n by n for n greater than 0. So this method of computing the Kepstrom for all pole model is depicted in the block diagram. So first we have x of n, then we will do linear predictive analysis in order to get h of z. So then we factorize, so in order to that is with respect to zk, and employ the above expression in order to get h cap of n. So here similarly the same thing, linear predictive analysis h of z. Here we will compute h of n, and the h of n is, we will apply the that is different expression 8.1104 expression in order to get h cap of n. So this is the expression 8.104 and 8.105. So these are the expressions. Then is Kepstrom distance measurement. So Kepstrom like representation can be obtained in many ways, as we have seen. No matter how it is computed, we can assume that the Kepstrom vector corresponds to gain normalized C of 0 equal to 0, minimum phase Occult tract impulse response h of n having the complex substrum h of n is equal to 2 into C of n for n value between 1 to n C0, or it is 0 for n less than or equal to 0. For example of Euclidean distance applied, then the Kepstrom would be d is equal to n equal to 1 to n C of n minus C bar of n magnitude square. So then equivalently, so when it is based on Pascal theorem in the frequency domain, the Euclidean distance is measured by this expression. We will apply log of h of e to the power of j omega minus log of h bar of e to the power of j omega, taking the square roots. Compensation for linear filtering. Suppose we have only linear filtered version of the speech signal, that is y of n is given as hd of n convolution with x of n instead of h of n. If the analysis window is long compared to the length of distorting impulse response hd of n, then the short time substrum of one frame of the filtered speech signal y of n will be approximately Cm of n is written as Cm of n plus C of n. So where C of n will appear more or less same in each frame. Therefore, if we estimate C of n, which is assumed in non-time varying, we can obtain C of n at each frame by the subtraction Cm of n is equal to Cm of n minus C of n. This process is called substrum, means the subtraction. Weighted substral distance measures. Solution to this problem is to use a weighted substral distance measurement. So this is a weighted substral distance measurement. D is equal to n equal to 0 to n C naught of L of, this is a substrum of the signal square into C of n minus C bar of n magnitude square. So this is a square weighing sequence ln square. So where the above expression can be written as a Euclidean distance of the lifted Kepstra, that is d is equal to n equal to 0 to n equal to 1 to n C naught L of n into C of n minus L of n into C bar of n whole square. So whereas L of n is given by this, defined by this expression. So then group delay substrum, the weighted substral Kepstral distance measurement of the previous subsection were given in new interpretation by these two authors, Itakura and Umezaki, who involved following basic property of discrete time Fourier transformation, that is n into h cap of n is equal to j into th of e to the power of j omega divided by d omega. So where this denotes the transform relationship between the sequence and its DTFT. Therefore, the interesting result can be obtained if we represent the complex substrum as h of n is equal to c of n plus d of n, where c of n is given by this, that is EB of h cap of n is a even part, where d of n is a odd part. So then h of e to the power of j omega is log of h of e to the power of j omega plus, it is given in the rectangular form. N c of n is given by this expression, j into d log h of e to the power of j omega divided by d omega, and n into d of n, that is minus d into arrogant of h of e to the power of j omega divided by d omega. Then a short time Fourier transformation and linear predictive coding spectrum is given here. So this is a spectrum. So this is a lifted group delay spectrum, which is shown in below diagram. Then is Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient, MFCC. It is one of the popular parameter which we extract in voice to, that is in speech processing, that is Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient. The basic idea is to compute the frequency analysis based upon a filter bank with approximately critical band spacing of filter and bandwidth. For 4 kHz bandwidth, approximately 20 filters are used. In most implementation, a short time Fourier analysis is done first, resulting in DFT, xm of k for the mth frame. Then DFT values are grouped together in a critical bands and weighted by a triangular weighing function, which is depicted in the diagram, which is shown here. This is the diagram, that is DFT weighing function for Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient. Note that the bandwidth in the diagram are constant for center frequencies below 1 kHz. For center frequency below 1 kHz, it is constant. So after 1 kHz, it is decreasing. And then increase exponentially up to the half of the sample rate of 8 kHz and resulting in R equal to 24 filter. The Mel Cepstrum of mth frame is defined as R is equal to 1, 2 up to R. Then Mel frequency coefficients are given by this expression, MFM of R is given by this expression, which is shown here. So then where VR of k is a weighing function and rth filter ranging from the discrete Fourier transformation of LR to UR, so which is given as AR is equal to summation of VR of k whole square. Then Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient is given by 1 over R summation from R equal to 1 to R log of M of MFM of R and cos of 2 pi by R into R of R plus 1 by 2 into N. So this is the Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient calculation expression. So if we predict the Mel frequency analysis, so this dotted thing what is shown here is a Mel Cepstrum smoothing. So this is a quasi-periodic waveform. So this thickness of line which is shown here a short time Fourier transformation, whereas this waveform what is shown is homomorphic smoothing. So this is homomorphic smoothing. So this thick line denotes a linear predictive coefficient smoothing. So whereas this denotes a Mel Cepstrum smoothing. So this dotted denotes a Mel Cepstrum smoothing. Next is a dynamic Cepstral feature. The set of Mel frequency Cepstrum coefficient provide perceptually a meaningful and smooth estimates of the speech spectra over a time and have been used effectively in a large range of speech processing system. So then Fury proposed the use of estimate of the time derivatives of short term Cepstrum. Fury called the resulting parameter set as a delta Cepstrum. The delta Cepstrum, conceptually the simplest way of calculating a delta Cepstrum. So delta of MFCC is given as MFCC of n into MFCC of m minus n of m minus 1 of n. So that is a simple difference, is a poor approximation to the first derivative of Bell-Kestrel coefficient and is not generally used in practice. Thank you dear students. So this here we complete the fourth module, that is homomorphic analysis of the speech production. Thank you one and all.